Hi guys, Darth Phobos here, back with another Star Wars action figure review. Taking a look at another older figure I recently picked up off of eBay. We are taking a look at Darth Phobos, from a character from the Force Unleashed video game that was released as part of a 5-pack back in 2011, the Shadows of the Dark Side packaging. I believe the 5-pack was a Toys R Us exclusive, but I could be wrong. She came packed with a Star Killer in his Sith Lord robes, a repaint of the Evo Stormtrooper, and 2 Imperial Navy commandos. I think one of them had the Commander Pauldron. I actually remember seeing that pack in stores years and years ago. Unfortunately, I was a lot younger, didn't have my own real disposable income back then, so I never got it. But always was a cool set, and this is a figure I've been wanting to pick up for a while now. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a grail per se, but it is definitely like a white whale for me. The Sith are my favorite things to collect for the Star Wars 3¼ line. I am trying to get every uniquely named Sith Lord in the line. Probably won't happen to get all of them. The ones I'm missing now, for the most part, are all really expensive ones I'm probably never going to get. But luckily, Darth Phobos wasn't one of them. This is one of the ones that doesn't cost necessarily too much if you shop around. I got a relatively decent deal on this. I paid, I think, after shipping and taxes and everything, 85 Canadian, which I don't know what that is in USD, maybe like 65 bucks, which I feel is pretty reasonable for this figure. But yeah, let's take a look. If you're not familiar with this character, she's a character that appears in the Force Unleashed games in only certain versions. I believe the Wii and PlayStation versions, where she is a hologram in the Jedi Temple in one of the Jedi trials that Starkiller has to take. So she's one of the boss battles. So she's like an Old Republic Sith that I guess the Jedi made a hologram of for a trial for Jedi. So aside from that, there's only a little bit of backstory. She didn't have a whole lot of backstory. She's pretty much just a character, a boss character to use in the game. And not even every version of the game, which is really weird. But I really like the design of this character a lot. We don't get too many female Sith or dark side characters for the most part, so that in itself is pretty unique. She's also a very uniquely designed Sith, very different colors and variety of colors. Most Sith, they're wearing black robes or black or gray armor, but Phobos is wearing purple, lighter pinkish parts around there. Her skin colors are really light green with some blue and some blue hair, and showing off a fair amount of skin as well. A very unique addition to the shelf. Really stands out among the other Sith Lord characters in the collection, which is super cool. Taking a look at the sculpted detail, I think she's sculpted very well and painted very well for the most part. The head sculpt's pretty good. I wouldn't say the sculpt of the face and the head is super accurate to how she looks in the game, but it's close enough. And I think the paint, especially for being pre-face print, is pretty well done, especially her body tattoos or body markings. I think they might be markings, not tattoos, but I'm not sure. The markings are done very well for the most part. They are a bit asymmetrical in some spots. I'm not sure if that's intended or not. If it is, then it looks fine. If it's not intended, then it is a bit messy, but I'm not entirely sure. Really like the sculpt of the hair as well as the paint. It's a darker blue with some light blue wash to bring out the details of the sculpt of that hair, which looks really good. Her outfit's very unique as well. You got like different spots where she's showing skin, and I think that looks really good. Different like wrappings and little pieces of armor here and there look really cool. She's asymmetrical arms. She's got kind of a small armor piece right here, and then there's a larger armor piece on the left arm around the wrist. It's kind of hard to tell, but they very subtly sculpted her torso to make her look like she's twisting her waist a little bit. Kind of cool. It didn't compromise articulation, and it's subtle enough where it gives her just this little bit of extra personality, which I really like. And you got the rest of the paint apps, all these little pink spots, almost look kind of earthy in a way, which is kind of cool. Some more markings and whatnot of her skin. Again, asymmetrical arms. She's got those 2 little pockets there that are open, and then you got the whole strip of exposed flesh there. And you got the feet, very unique feet, almost hoof-like. due to her species. She's Theline, I think is what they're called. I don't know. I don't think we get too many figures of Theline characters. I think one of the Jabba dancers is Theline as well. But yeah, very good looking figure, very unique looking figure, which I think is one of the biggest draws for this one. Very unique, especially considering she's a Sith Lord. In terms of articulation, she's also pretty well articulated, which is kind of surprising considering she's a 10-year-old figure that's a female character. Sometimes they like to skimp out on the articulation with the females. I'm not entirely sure why. Ball jointed the neck, which is kind of hindered because of her hair sculpt. There's no movement, flexibility in that, so you can only kind of move her head about that far to each side. Can't really look down and definitely can't look up. It doesn't really bother me too much. A little bit of pivot. One thing I will mention actually, now that we're at it as well, I do wish the neck would have been a little more raised. She kind of looks like she doesn't have much of a neck on the go. I feel like she should have, her head should sit just a bit higher. It doesn't look too bad, but it is a little noticeable. Ball hinges at the shoulders, which move really well actually. They go past 90, rotate, and they can go all the way to her sides, which is always nice. Single hinges in the elbow, which actually move 90 degrees, which is good, and then swivel cuts at the forearm there on both sides. Swivel waist, swivel hips. The plastic skirt piece doesn't really hinder. It's fairly flexible, so that's good. And then ball hinge knees, which move about 90, and then no articulation in the ankles, which I can't really blame them for because she has pretty unique looking feet, to say the least. But she's pretty well articulated, which is really nice, and you can actually use the plastic rigidness of the skirt to your advantage. You want to try to get some more action poses. You can kind of, I'm not really doing a fantastic job, but you can kind of use the skirt to kind of hold her up. If you kind of, this is a terrible pose, but I'm just trying to get the point across. Is that stuff that you can do. In terms of accessories, you've seen it in her hand already. She just come with the one accessory, which is her double-bladed lightsaber. But it is pretty cool because it is unique sculpt, and for her, I don't think they ever reuse this sculpt, which is super cool. You will notice there's a bit of paint wear. I did get this, of course, like I said, on eBay, loose, so tiny bit of paint wear, which is unfortunate. So you might want to watch out for that if you're buying one. It doesn't bother me too much. There's only couple spots where there's paint wear. But the rest of the hilt is painted really nicely, actually silver, and then they gave it actually a black wash to bring out the details, so it actually looks really nice. The red blades look decent, and again, another kind of unique feature. There's really don't get too many characters that have a double blade lightsaber besides like Darth Maul releases, so whenever we get characters that aren't Darth Maul that have more unique lightsabers, I'm always down for that. So yeah, a really cool figure in the lineup of Sith that we've gotten in the line. A very kind of obscure character, I'll be honest. It's kind of interesting they decided to make a figure of her. I don't know why, but yeah. Comparison-wise, I don't really have anything really to compare with. I don't have any other figures from the 5-pack. I don't have too many versions of Starkiller, but I did grab one version that I have off the shelf. This is the Sith Stalker armor Starkiller, so standard up there. He is a bit taller. She is a female character, and the female characters tend to stand a bit shorter than the male characters. But I think that looks pretty cool together. She fits in really nicely with the different Sith, while also having a really nice presence all her own, and kind of breaking up the sea of black and gray. Like I literally just said, this guy's like all like black and gray, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this figure. It's a really cool release. Definitely not an essential piece to anyone's collection for sure. If you don't care to collect all the different Sith characters, you didn't play Force Unleashed or don't particularly care that much about the game or the character, then it's an easy pass. But if you're like me and you like collecting different Darksiders, all the different Sith and all that sort of thing, I think this is definitely one you want to try to track down. She is one of the, I say, more affordable ones. You're still probably going to have to shell out for her a bit, but compared to the other Sith that are out there, Expand Universe Sith rather, that are out there, she is one of the cheaper ones, and I think if you shop around a bit on eBay, you probably can find a decent deal for her. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say, so thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.